What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm here with Jason Ryan. He's going to show us some different Kimura strategy, Kimura trap, whatever you want to call it, videos. He's going to break this up into 3 or 4 different videos. So just kind of part 1, part 2, click on the future videos in the upload list. He's been on the channel before, and we're happy to have him back today.
All right, thanks. So Brian's going to lay down. We get into a north-south Kimura position. I know this is a common position, and a lot of times what happens is, you know, our struggle is we get this arm behind the back, and as we go to apply pressure for the break, he flattens it out. Sometimes he'll spin around, but either way, it becomes a scramble, and which is bad. We're in a dominant position. We're in north-south. We have his arm behind his back. We should win this, right? So this is a different way to break the shoulder, and it's a different way because I'm not only going to control his arm and his head, I'm also going to pin him where he can't move. So, same setup. I've got the Kimura. I'm going to lift. Instead of stopping here, I'm going to drive his hand straight to the mat, and my elbow is going to go to the mat, okay? I want to keep his arm close to his body, so I'm going to make that switch as I switch my legs. So, if you come back here, you'll see this knee is going to slide in. This foot's going to step out. I'm going to bring his arm into his body. I've got a wide base. I'm on my toes. He cannot sit up. Is it up? He can't move. I have him pinned, okay? I have his head controlled, I have him pinned. Now, I'm not gonna take this arm and push. This is not a pushing Kimura. This is a pulling Kimura. I'm gonna take my left hand and I'm gonna pull. There's the break, okay? He's tapping. One more time, pull. He's tapping right there. Just to show you an idea, if he's tapping at that point, this is how much more room I have, okay? So, we've got the head controlled. I like to pin the arm here still with my knee. We're gonna lock up our Kimura. We're gonna pick it up. We're gonna drive it to the mat as close to his body as we can, followed by our elbow. Elbow hits the mat, switch my legs. Big step, as far as I can, okay? Make sure this is in, and then I'm just gonna pull for the break, all right?
All right, guys, thanks. What's up? Back with Jason Ryan for part 2 on some Kimura details.
Okay, so we're back in north-south Kimura position. This time, this guy is really big, really strong, or maybe even has a gi on. This is really good for the gi too. For whatever reason, I cannot physically get his arm behind his back. I can pick him up and he's just not gonna go. So there's 2 different finishes I can do. Anytime I can incorporate my legs into an attack, it's gonna be good. Legs are the strongest part of our body. So I'm gonna incorporate my legs here to get this finished. Just hook up an S grip, that's gonna be easiest to show. So he's here and I can't get this behind, right? So I'm gonna keep my Kimura grip. I'm gonna take this foot and I'm gonna step over, okay? I'm keeping everything locked up. All I'm gonna do now is sit back to my butt, okay? Now, at this point, I'm not gonna pull his arms apart. What I'm gonna do is take my legs and push away, okay? Now, when I clear this, I don't care if you guys keep your legs apart or if you wanna cross them, it doesn't matter. I like to keep mine apart. I like to keep pressure on his head and pressure on his back in case he wants to roll. If he wants to roll, I really don't care, but from here, I'll get the break. Tap. Go back. Again, this is really good. I use this a lot in the gi because guys will grab their lapel and you can pick them up off the ground. They're just not gonna break that grip. So I've got my Kimura grip. I'm just gonna step over. I'm stepping over his hand. I'm putting a lot of pressure on his hand, so he can't get his hand out even if he wanted to. And then all I'm gonna do is just sit back. Okay? Then I'm gonna use my legs, and I'm gonna drive my legs forward. Okay? Now, get the break. That's it.
Thanks, guys. What's up, guys? Here with Jason Ryan for part number 3 on some Kimura details.
So again, we're gonna go north-south Kimura. We just showed where we stepped over with our legs and we sat back to our butt. We applied pressure with our legs to get the hand free. This time we don't need to fall back and we don't need to get the hand free. We're still gonna lock this Kimura up, but this time I'm gonna let go with this hand, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the step over just like I did before, but I'm releasing here and I've gotta keep this tight. If I just go here, he's gonna pull his arm free, right? So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna step over and I'm grabbing my own thigh, okay? It looks like I'm setting up for a bicep slicer, but this is gonna turn into a shoulder lock. So now I'm gonna post with my hand and I'm gonna S my legs. And again, like we showed in the first video, I'm doing a pulling motion with my arm. I'm gonna pull, tap, okay? So the motion you see, it's not much. It doesn't look like I'm doing a lot, but I'm getting a lot of braking pressure here. He's tapping right there, okay? So one more time. This is good for, you know, with the other one, we have to fall back and we are giving up a little bit of position. We're in a top position, we're falling back to our back. So this one, we're not giving up any position. We're staying on top the whole time. So I'm locking up the Kimura. I'm putting my hand here to keep this arm pinned, and I'm also using it to catch my thigh. So as I step, I catch my thigh. Now he's stuck. He's not getting his arm out. He's not going to turn me left or right. I've got him pinned. I'm going to use this as a post. I'm S-ing my legs, okay? And then I'm just going to apply pressure. I'm just pulling with my arm and getting the tap, okay? So that is, you can link that together with the second video. You can use those. You can use them as, use one for an attack and then go to the next one, however you guys want to. But those are things I have success with as a smaller grappler against big guys that are just, they're so strong. I'm not going to separate those hands. And there's no reason for me to spend a lot of time and energy separating their hands when I can use these attacks and they're super effective. So
Nice. Thanks, man.
yep.
What's up, guys? Part 4, Jason Ryan. He's actually going to show a Kimura from a different situation, position. Kind of came up with us talking about things when we were training earlier. So we're going to turn it over to him.
So this is a Kimura attack from top half guard. I think we can agree that we all end up in this position a lot. And the thing we fear, you know, the thing we have to fear really most from this position is our partner shooting an underhook up, you know, and starting to get my back or sweep me from here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kill his underhook just by my head position alone. Okay, I like to keep my head over here. He can't really shoot a deep underhook on me now. He might be able to do some things with my leg, but we're going to transition here pretty quickly. So I got to note where his elbow is, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this arm and I'm going to go elbow to elbow. Okay. Immediately I'm going to grab his wrist and lock up my Kimura. Okay. This is where a lot of people make the mistake. They try to finish from here. We got to get our legs loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my head as a post. Okay. And I'm going to bring my non-trapped knee on the inside. I'm using it as a wedge. So I can use this knee to pull my leg free, and then I fall into this, what's called a T-Kimura position. I recently learned. Now, if you watch part 1, you know what to do. I'm going to scissor my legs. I'm going to come up, drive my elbow to the mat, step over the head, and get the break. Okay? We'll go back. So immediately, if he goes to shoot an underhook, we're going to get head positioning over his arm. We want to go elbow to elbow. At this point, there's no chance he's going to lock his hands together. I'll lock my Kimura up, get it behind his back. I'm going to use my head as a post, and I'm going to take my non-trapped knee on the inside. Okay? And I'm going to use it as a wedge, pull my legs out, fall to the Kimura position. The whole time I've got his hand behind his back. Now, he can't turn away from me from this position. He doesn't even want to. If he turns into me, there's lots of stuff we can do here. Go ahead and turn into me. We can start taking his back, okay? But for this move, we're gonna pretend like he just sits here for a second, and we're just gonna, to get up, we're just gonna scissor our legs up, drive my elbow to the mat, step over his head and use a pulling motion to get the finish. Okay? That is a good way to get the finish on that top half guard position without getting into some kind of crazy scramble. So remember, we're not trying to finish while he's still got our leg trapped. So that's a good way to keep him pinned the whole time, get my leg free, and then sit up for the finish. Okay?